Hello and welcome to yet another vlog, and this time we are in Lowerstoft to experience the theme park that is Pleasurewood Hills. I'm looking forward to experiencing some fantastic rides here. They've got a pretty good offering. Obviously you've got the Vekoma Boomerang, which I'm really looking forward to getting on, and there's also a few other coasters. I'm really looking forward to heading in there. So we're just heading on to our first attraction, Cannonball Express, which is the Schwarzkopf Jetstar coaster. So I've just come off of Cannonball Express. I really enjoyed that. It's really enjoyable, it's quite smooth. You've got some good drops on there. The bank turns, you've got quite a bit of height. But those bank turns are pretty snappy and whippy as well. And you've got the helix down there at the bottom where you get quite a bit of force actually. As you're going round. It's really forceful. And then there's a few sharp turns on there. It's a really fun ride. Just heading on to Marble Madness now, the park's marathon Wild Mouse. Just come off of Marble Madness, the marathon Wild Mouse. I'm quite impressed. It takes some of the elements quite fast. Obviously with the standard Wild Mouse, quite sharp turns, but there is a helix on there. There is quite a big drop on there as well, and there's also that little pop of airtime where you get a bit of ejector. That drop before the airtime hill's really good as well. So yeah, with quite a bit of sharp turns, quite whippy. I really do enjoy it. Heading on to Rootin' Tootin' Target Trail, which is the park's interactive shooting dart ride with a Wild West theme. I just come off of Rootin' Tootin' Target Trail. Quite a good dark ride that. Obviously with the shooting, with the gun on there, that's always fun. Where you have to shoot the targets, but it's got some good Wild West theme, quite vibrant in there. But you have got some good animatronics with like the sheriffs and the miners. Obviously, it's taking place in the mine. You've got all the dynamite in there. It's quite fun. Now heading on to Wipeout, the signature coaster for the park. It's obviously the Vekoma Boomerang. I'm really looking forward to getting on this. 3 versions. It's got a Cobra roll, which is 2, and then the loop over there. And obviously, because it's a boomerang, it'll go backwards as well, which I'm really looking forward to feeling what that's like. So I've just come off Wipeout, the Vekoma boomerang, and I'm quite impressed. It's quite fun. Obviously you've got the spike up there when you come down through the station into the Cobra roll, very forceful and quite intense, up into the Cobra roll, and then coming out into that bottom section, into the loop, which is quite forceful, round the loop into the spike is also quite forceful, then obviously going up into the second spike. With both spikes there's no waiting round. As soon as you get to the top you just backwards, and then when you go backwards you sort of get pushed into the restraints. It feels a bit more intense because obviously you're going backwards. You can't see where you're going. Obviously around the loop also getting some good force around there into the Cobra roll, which again in the Cobra roll both backboards and backwards is quite forceful, and back through the station, and I really enjoyed it. Very, very forceful and intense, but I found it quite fun. Just heading on to the park's drop tower now, Jolly Roger. I've just come off of Jolly Roger. It's the Fabry drop tower, and I really actually enjoyed this. So much so I actually went on a couple of times. Obviously when you get to the top, the hang time, it's quite intense because you get quite a good view from up there. We got the one, we got a couple of different sides, so we got a different side both times we went on, because we went on twice. But yeah, you get a really nice view from the top, but then it's just that nervous sort of tension as you're up there, and you know you're just going to free fall. It's completely free fall. Obviously you drop down, it really takes your breath away. It does. It's so intense. You hit quite a bit of force as you're going down. You really have to hold on tight. Well, I do. But yeah, very, very snappy that drop. Just like releases and you just free fall down. So intense. You sort of get quite a bit of air time as your first release, but then real good force all the way down the tower. Takes your breath away as you're going down. Then you hit the bottom. Really fun, but very intense. I've just come off of Wipeout for the second time today. I did quite enjoy it. It wasn't quite as smooth because I was second from the front. I wasn't actually on the front car, but I still quite enjoyed it. It's just getting pushed into the straights with all the force on some of those elements. Really, really good coaster. So just heading on to the classic wave swinger. So I've just come off of the wave swinger, the classic ride. It's quite good, it's quite scenic, you get some nice views on there, and a good breeze on there as well. It does tilt up and down a bit, but it's a lot more scenic, this one. Just getting on board the Pleasurewood Hills railroad. So I've just come off of the Pleasurewood Express, the railroad. Really fun, that. Nice scenic ride. Getting some good views of some of the rides, such as Wipeout. We're taking you all the way around the park, around the perimeter, with some good views, good scenic experience, and going through some of the trees as well around the back of the park. It's quite a long ride as well, which does make it. So you really get to take in all the views when you're on there, because like I say, it's very scenic, really enjoyable, and it's a nice family ride as well. And I quite enjoyed my full ride round. It's got 3 stations, but we just did the whole full circuit loop as well. So I've just come off Wipeout for the 3rd time this visit. I just really enjoy it. Obviously it's got a bit of a light surfing theme with some like beach huts down there, but it's quite fun. I've got on the front again, which is good, because it's definitely the smoothest on the front, definitely the best. But the Cobra roller loop, you still get some great force, because as soon as it gets to the top of the 2 lift hills, it just releases, so you almost get a bit of air time at the top as well, which is always good. I'll get some footage. I'm about to go on the classic chairlift. So I've just come off the classic chairlift. Really enjoyed it. It's a very long ride because it's quite slow, so you can really take in the views of the scenic experience. It's really fun. Obviously, it's got the 2 stations. We got off on we got on the one end and got off here at this station. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it goes over the lake. You get some good views across the park and all the rides, and all through the trees. It's really good, relaxing transport ride, this one. So just come off of Kite Fly, which is the little spinning, flying flat ride, the little Zamperla ride. It's quite fun, good family ride, but it's quite scenic, going through all the trees. Obviously it just tilt up a little bit, but obviously lying down, so you're sort of in flight position. Which makes it a bit more unique in the sensation, but it's a nice family ride.
I'm gonna go in there now, John.
And we got quite a long cycle on there as well, which is really good because we've got to really take it in, get a good breeze on there. With a long cycle, which makes it a better attraction really because we get longer on there. Just come off Marble Madness for the second time this visit, the Marathon Wild Mouse. These are always good fun. I mean, I quite like this one. It's got the moment of airtime, and also on some of the bigger drops you get a little bit of hang time, which creates a bit of airtime on there. And that's why I came on again, because there was not a long queue, so I had an extra ride. Just heading on to Wave Breaker, which is the little dinghy water slide. So just come off Wave Breaker, the little dinghy slides. They're good fun, these little sort of double drop, really, because you get the little bumps in there, like the little airtime moments. As well as quite a big landing area at the bottom where you get a little bit spray, actually, just from the side. You don't get too wet on there. It's more about actually coming down the slide, but I really quite enjoy it. Yeah. Just turning on to the miniature railway here at Pleasurewood Hills. Because they've obviously got two. They've got the larger one, which we went on earlier, but they've also got this miniature one. Probably just someone needs to get on. A wheelchair person, is that the correct term? Oh yeah, in the thing. Glow in the dark as well, so So I've just come off of the miniature railway. A nice scenic ride around the park. So you got a couple of tunnels on there, one of which actually had some projections in there, which I quite liked. There's just some ghosts. Also, as you're going through the woods, you get a bit of Halloween theming, like some skeletons and ghosts and monsters and witches in there, which is quite fun. As well as that, obviously some great interaction with some of the rides, including Wipeout. And you actually get quite a bit of interaction at quite a few points with the chairlift as well. Just a nice scenic ride, but some good views. And I really like the Halloween theming they put in there as well. I've just come off the classic carousel, traditional ride. It's nice they've got one here as well. I've really nice scenic ride on there going round, but it's just traditional. Classic fun fair ride, so I had to come on and have a really nice little scenic ride. Well, I've just actually had two back-to-back rides on this classic as well, so I've got to enjoy it twice. So just have another ride on Route into Target Trail, the little interactive dart ride. Quite a fun one this, so had another go. Just heading on to the park's log flume now, Water Fun Factory. We've just come off of Water Fun Factory, the log flume. I actually got pretty soaked. The first drop is actually through the station building, which is quite well themed. Obviously the actual fun factory itself. It's very vibrant there. First drop you get a light sprinkle as you come out of the building. The second drop's quite tall, quite steep as well. You head down. I actually got soaked. I was in the front and I got soaked coming down that drop. So I'm quite impressed with it. And obviously you head back round. So it's obviously got the two drops, the little one where you get a bit of a sprinkle, and then the last one where I got pretty wet, actually, pretty soaked. But I do like it. It's a good log flume because obviously that's the whole point, that you get soaked, and that makes it a really good water ride. And that wraps up our visit to Pleasurewood Hills. I've really enjoyed it here. Obviously getting on a few different coasters, two of which were brand new for me. Marble Madness, the Mouse, and also Wipeout, just over there. I really enjoyed Wipeout. I was really quite impressed. It's definitely better on the front because I did have a couple of front row rides on there. The first and last time I've been on there were both front row. I enjoyed it a lot more there, so that was fun. But also enjoyed some of the other rides, like the classics carousel and the wave swinger, but also the dark ride, Route in Target Trail. That was really good. You've got Jolly Roger just over there, the drop tower, which is really good fun, very forceful, and I've really enjoyed my visit. Of course, you've also got that log flume, Water Fun Factory, which I really do enjoy. It's got some nice vibrant theming around it with the station area, but also that second drop. The first one you get a light sprinkle, but the second one I really did get soaked on there, which I was really impressed with. But you've also got all those scenic rides as well. Of course, the railroad, the miniature railway, and you've also got the chairlift. All of those, because the park's in a really nice location. So all of those rides, you get to sort of go through the trees, and all the nature around the park, which is really nice. Obviously, as well as getting some good shots of some of the rides, some good views of them going round as well. But that's why I love this park. It's the fantastic offering here, and also the location. We did get an on-ride photo while we were here as well. We got one from Marble Madness, the Marathon Wild Mouse.